Hello. This is Wake Up and Agent Orange from TalkAboutWorld.net. We're Real Fans Rome, and we're just about to review to you now. We won't use any spoilers. We'll just talk about it in general.
We can't.
Prometheus. We can. If you I don't know. We'll just talk. We'll just spitball. If spoilers come out, we're very sorry. But it was good. The trailer had hype to the length that I'd never seen.
The trailer was adrenaline.
It was good. The trailer was good, but the trailer set the bar very high. It set the bar very high, and the film itself offered a load of new concepts which I hadn't seen in a sci-fi film before, and even in a prequel, if you'll call it a prequel, because even after seeing it, I can see Ridley Scott's point. Because if they'd have sold it as a hard sell as an alien movie, people would be pissed. They'd be pissed. It was a good ensemble cast. He really once again shows he flexes his muscles of feminism. He did it once with G.I. Jane. He did it again with Ripley, and he's done it again now with oh crikey, what was her name? Shaw.
Elizabeth Shaw.
Elizabeth Shaw. Oh, okay, Elizabeth Shaw.
Yeah, get it right.
All right. So what did you think?
I liked it. I think it had a lot of interesting concepts about it that I wasn't disappointed with. The idea of where the aliens come from, and we can't talk about this without spoilers, man.
Right, then we'll go into spoilers.
Spoilers.
If you don't want to hear it.
The idea.
Right, without spoilers, it's a good movie. Go and watch it. The trailer set it up very high, and It just falls short of that. It was different. It felt fresh, which is something that I don't find myself saying much nowadays. Go and watch it in the cinema. Watch it in 3D with the real 3D glasses.
Yeah, the 3D is really good. There was one bit where someone was looking out a window or something. I was kind of going like, I move out the way, man. I'm just trying to see. And it was only a minute later that I realised it was actually someone in the movie looking out a window. Yeah. I was like, oh, bad moment.
Now, okay, so thumbs up, go and watch it. If you don't, now if you want to listen to some of the spoilers or some of the some things that could be deemed as spoilers, you've been warned. The site is www.talkaboutworld.net. We're Real Fans Rome. Did you enjoy it? Without going into spoilers, would you recommend going and watch it?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a decent watch. Held my attention. Had a lot of tense moments.
A lot
of moments that I just like, oh my god, I can't watch. Really good, interesting, well done, squeamish moments, as well as just a good concept.
Yeah. So, the site, www.talkaboutworld.net, forum for the Real Fan, we're Real Fans Rome. We'll be doing a daily radio show starting tonight for the next 2 months, so that should be a good laugh. Now, we're going to go into spoilers. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, oh wait, you should actually do the Alien soundtrack. I'll figure out a way to do the Alien soundtrack over this. It's like, yeah? Right, now, spoilers. Okay. David the android was very, very good. He was probably the highlight of the movie. He was a fucking bastard. Oh my goodness, he was an arsehole in this.
Not really.
I didn't like him.
Had his own agenda a bit. He wasn't.
He was a good villain.
He wasn't mean for the sake of it.
Nice villain. I hated him. I liked the concept that was mentioned between where do we come from. And fair enough, is it the spawn of humanity? Who created our creators? And that whole idea, and the fact that they didn't shove religion constantly down your throats. It was subtly done, and that she still maintained their faith even at the end. I kind of liked. I mean, and most films, fair enough. If I was listening to this from someone else reviewing it, I'd be like, oh god. It's one of these people, God, preaching on about God and that. It's not like that at all, by all means. And it's just a different take. And it felt as good as the original Alien movie. It took its time to set up, and it delivered some very fresh, new aliens, interesting ideas, and man, I think we found something even more creepy than the facehugger. That, oh my goodness. What do you reckon?
Well, we actually had a big talk about this on the way home from the cinema, so I guess a lot of what we want to say we've already said, but some things didn't seem to quite add up. But then if you think about them more, it's the kind of thing where you can always explain it with another theory. So at least there isn't anything glaring that stomps over the franchise of Aliens itself. It stays true to the original ideas.
Yeah.
And one of the things I found the most interesting was the evolution of the alien as we've come to know it today.
Yeah, that was good.
They really did that well. And the idea of it being, we've said spoilers, so like a genetic, not genetic warfare,
an amoeba, isn't it?
Yeah, like
you
a little
see the evolution of how it
thing,
grows and
a
how
bacteria
it,
or something. The idea that then evolves and changes as to whatever life form it comes into contact with, I found ever so interesting. And
they touched on that in the initial Alien series, like when in Alien 3, when the facehugger attached itself to the dog, you had the dog alien, which was it was hinted at. Where in this, it goes, yeah, that was an Alien 3, the one with the prison. But in this, it's done even more to the extreme, and it's not done to the fact where you really need to think it through. It's not explained to you in the slightest, and that's why I kind of like it, because it can be interpreted in so many different ways. And I just hope they should not do a sequel to this, because this everything I want and that I need, I've got.
It's been a long time since I've watched something, and afterwards I've not just been questioning something that didn't make sense, but trying to understand exactly how something works because it interests me so much.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were talking for a long time, and we were saying like, does it need to go through 2 stages? What exactly is how is the queen made? Why did they turn into facehuggers? What happened? What happened to this one because it was birthed through organic means, with the womb? And it's just a really interesting idea, and there's so many things that can be played off it. You can talk about it for a very long time, and it's all so interesting and fresh.
And even debating the actual size of the last facehugger, that was a good point.
Huge.
It was. I mean, you thought it was done to the extreme. It didn't need to be that big. I beg to differ, because the Queen herself is flipping huge. So it would make sense that if you're going to have a queen.
Yeah, our theory is that the last alien was the
Queen.
because it was
the way her face.
Yeah, the top jaw kind of came over rather than the thing coming out of the jaw. Anyway, I just think it was like how it came out a certain size, and surely it would need to feed or something to become that huge. But it's just a little thing. The only thing I was annoyed about, right, in the end of Alien, you've got the woman versus the alien. Whether she tricked it out the air, like it's like one-on-one. He's there, she's there. It's a very tense moment, and I thought there was going to be a similar moment with the thing that came out of her womb, and I was kind of gutted that she had the axe, it was all set up, and then instead she just let both the aliens fight each other, and I wanted her to take it on, and then leave instead of going back for that guy, the robot.
I really enjoyed how they revealed the space jockey and what it was. That, for me, that was a good, interesting way. I mean, even the helmet coming off, that was something fresh and very imaginative, and it made a lot of sense. And it was different. It was. I'm not likely to see another science fiction. I mean, I can't pinpoint what was the last science fiction movie that I saw at the cinema. Well, it was Inception. But then, as a sci-fi film, Inception wasn't really that far out. I mean, was it? I mean, they didn't have very many trippy ideas, a dream in a dream. Well, this covered that whole aspect of invading dreams a lot more creepier, if that makes sense.
Not so much. It's
like having a guy watching your dreams.
If you don't let someone being in your head, it's really invasive. I think it was such a small part of the movie. I can't quite believe we're mentioning it in a review, but it was invasive, and it was like the android guy was saying it because he knew it would have that effect. And that's something else that I found very interesting, and one of my personal favourite points of discussion on films like this is when does it go from logic to being an emotion? When does a simulated logic process become feeling resentment or feeling anger or being driven? I mean, when does a machine have emotion? Would you say that David had emotion by going after the one guy that had been singling him out
that was well done.
Throwing a bit of abuse at him? Or was it purely logic because he knew then that would then spread towards the woman that he was with.
This is another thing, because it can be debated about that. I mean, it could be argued that he, like you say, specifically singled him out, or it could even be that they were the only couple on the ship. And did he want to impregnate Idris Elba and make him have it away with his sister? Did he want his sister to go through that? And out of a sense of pride to his maker, he didn't want her to go through that.
And then there's the idea of rules and stuff. One of the things I would have loved to see is you were saying you were annoyed when the old man.
Yeah, that was not needed, not necessary.
I would have loved him to, as you say, be in sleep still,
and him
say, like, finding a logical reason to not wake him up. Because if he had control while they were searching for the answers, he could just say, "Oh, I can't wake you up yet. We haven't made sure that it's the right answer. I'm in control still." And it's a way of getting around the programming, and I just love that whole idea
of manipulating the machines,
manipulating logic. And I also would have loved, for a long time in the movie, I thought that the sister was a robot as well.
Yeah. Well, Idris made it. He made a quip, mate. You're not a robot, are you? Even if you, I don't care. Let's do it.
Yeah, but I really wanted to see two opposing ideas of what's best for humanity play out in the minds of logical robots.
But they kind of did. They kind of played out between the robot and the woman, because even the robot was like, "You still have faith after all that's happened to you." I can't understand that. And the fact that she went back to the ship and he said, "You know what? I'm impressed that you're coming back after what's happened. I did not expect you to be coming back." And she's like, "Well, I want to go." So I think that was kind of hinted at, but it could have been done a bit more. I mean, there was a lot of good ideas in this film, and some very well executed. Main problem that I feel is it's not your commercial type of movie that it was marketed at. Like the pacing at the end, it was a bit off. It would get really fast and it would just slow down, and then it would get fast again, and it would get slow down again. And it's like, well, I want it to build up to some sort of crescendo here now.
Yeah, like that's what the trailer I think was a little misleading. What I was expecting, I was happy with the slow build-up, that was great, but near the end I was expecting it to be like adrenaline, you don't know what's going to happen, anything could happen.
But you didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, but
I didn't know what was going to happen, like it felt really like, there were some moments, like you even heard me, I think there was a few people behind me that were just going, "Really, you're jumping at that?" And I was like, "Fucking hell, Jesus Christ!" We had like that thing going through his mouth and like it's messing up the hand, it's like, "We need a hand here, we need a hand!"
That wasn't near the end though, what my point is that near the end it seems a bit jagged. I would have either preferred it to not go quite so insane as quickly,
but batshit crazy. Yeah.
But to have like once it goes crazy, it's like a domino effect, and more keeps happening, because that's the way it looked in the trailer, and that I think would have had more punch than loads of stuff happening and then suddenly nothing's happening, and then loads of stuff. And as I say, the end with the axe and the final confrontation.
They set it up. They set it up really well. They could have done it, and then they choked. They had it and they choked, which was a bit of a shame, really.
And you were saying your main annoyance was that the space guy wasn't found.
Oh yeah, the jockey.
Yeah, he wasn't found in that. He was found in the ship.
But that can either be found as me being nitpicky. Like,
and then, as you say, the Queen could have gone off and then
gone onto the other ship, woken up the other guy who was in hypersleep and impregnated him, and then have. But that's why I kind of liked it, because it wasn't. I mean, I liked it for not showing it, but it would have felt more nicer and a bit of a heads up to the original Alien fans. I mean, fair enough, it's in that world, but it didn't really. They had the distress call at the end, which was a nice little nod, but it didn't really. I don't know what I was expecting.
If she's found If she's found faith again, why is she still looking? Why has she gone out again when she has found these nasty things that wanted to destroy us? Why would?
Well, they're going to make a spin-off TV show, aren't they? With
stupid.
Lady Lucy and a mechanical hair friend.
Their presence triggered the arrival of the worms that then got into the black stuff, and then they turned into the aliens, snake things, and then their presence caused this disruption. They know this thing has lain dormant for thousands of years, millions of years, whatever. Why would you then go looking for more trouble? That's my problem. Really, they should have just tried to blow up all the ships, maybe stayed on the planet, killed themselves, do the sacrifice. Just don't go looking for more trouble. if you try and find where these things came from, you're going to find more things like them. And what's the guarantee that they're not going to start the whole process again and they're going to head for Earth? Just bail.
It had some good ideas. It had some weak ones. It was a good film, in my opinion. Overall, it felt fresh. It was interesting. It had some very tense moments. I don't think it's going to make a very lot of money. I think I'm a big fan of Ridley Scott, and I want him to come back and make a really good film. A really good film. And I don't think this will be the one that gets him back on the top of his game, unfortunately. So we're going to have to deal with the likes of Michael Bay and their popcorn flicks than an actual intelligent piece of cinema, which is what Prometheus was. And you need to give it credit for that. How classy of me.
Yeah, no.
But just, it's a shame. It's a real shame. It was a good movie. I don't think it's going to get the respect it deserves. It's a type of movie that will leave you wondering a lot of things and getting debates going.
Yeah, but that's great. It's been ages since a movie's come out that I've wanted to discuss at length the ins and outs of, the theories behind it. I think that's good in itself. That's definitely a lot of points towards the movie.
But it's not going to get recognised for that. Prime example, we were just in Blockbusters and we had another guy who was after a decent story, a bit of a thriller, interesting plot, and he recommends out of everything in the store, go watch Man on the Ledge. Now this is a society that we live in now, and then when we said we went and watched Prometheus, he laughed at us and said, why do you want to watch that shit? So, this is the world that we live in. This is why we can't have nice things. And this is why, all in all, Prometheus is probably not going to do very well, even though it should do because of the questions it makes you ask about morality and what is out there. All in all, it was a decent flick.
Watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. www.talkaboutwar.net, the forum for the real fan, the real fan, where real fans roam. And I'll end this with probably the best line out of the entire movie, and that's hands up.